Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me today on my channel. So last week I actually started my diary on how I came into sales. And this is something that I'm actually sharing so that you can actually learn one or two lessons from this that you might also be able to use to actually make that step into that particular thing that you want to do. So today I'm going to be continuing on that same path, and I believe that what I'm going to share with you also might be relevant to you. So if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you can get lots of exciting content from us that will be beneficial to you. So today, the other thing I'm going to be sharing is that when you start a sales job or any job at all, one of the things that you need to understand is that you need to demonstrate at that initial phase that you are someone that is also willing to actually contribute to this business. So one of the things that I discovered is that when you start a job, there's a lot of expectations as well from the people who have hired you. So there's what I call intensity. So when I talk about intensity, this is the energy that you bring in when you first start that job. So how do you currently handle the things that have been given to you immediately you are starting that job? So it's not even about delivering the result at the initial, but it's about the attitude that you bring at the initial stages. So take for instance, when you start the job, what's your attitude towards the learnings and the trainings that they put you to do? Or what's your attitude towards even getting to know some of the people that you're going to be working with? Or what's your attitude towards even relating with your manager who is going to be in charge of you? So those things actually matter when you start the job, because it tells the people who have hired you how well you're going to do when you start that job. So one of the things that I did when I started was that I actually ensured that all the people that I needed to work with, I deliberately make sure that I knew them. And also, I maintained a very close relationship with my manager. So asking about things like, what is the history of the people who have been buying from us before now? So what are the people that you've been doing business with before I came into this, job? So asking those kind of questions and trying to get those kind of data were some of the things that I actually did. And the other thing that I did was that my initial conversations with the customers that I was dealing with, I made sure that I brought my manager into that conversation so that they know that I'm actually doing something and I'm someone that is willing to actually go the extra mile and also ensure that I'm working in a team. So a typical example was the first sale that I did. So I remember when I went to the customer and I was talking to the customer. At that particular time, I didn't really know a lot how things were going to be done. So, but what I knew was that after having the conversation with the customer, and the customer seemed interested in what we were selling, but one of the challenges that the customer had was that the price that we were actually selling that item was more than what they had budgeted for. And I knew that it was possible for us to actually sell even at a lower price. But I didn't want to call that short because I wanted something that my manager was going to be involved in and something that it was going to be a decision from him. So what I did was I told the customer that does she mind if I bring my manager into this conversation? And she said fine. And the next time I was going to see that customer, I actually went with my manager. And my manager was able to help me close that deal. And that was my first sale. And that happened even in my first week. But what I learned was that my manager was actually excited about what I did. And he saw in me that I was someone that was willing to actually work with every other person within the team. And also someone that was bringing a positive energy into the team. And that's something that is quite good when you start a job. The energy that you bring in at that initial phase is something that would actually make the people have more trust and more belief in you. And the simple things you can do is to take the initial things that have been committed to you seriously and ensure that at every stage in what you're doing, you're actually even bringing in the relevant stakeholders or even bringing in your manager to ensure that they are following through on what you're doing. And believe you me, you would see that once you do this, they will begin to develop trust in you and give you more room to do a lot more things. So I believe that what I've shared with you today is something that you can also learn from and it can help you in your journey. So if you believe what I've shared is actually beneficial to you and is useful, and you think that so many other people will also benefit from it, kindly ensure that you share this with them. And if you've also tried out something related to what I've done when you started a new job, you can also share with us in the comment section. Thank you so much for staying tuned to today's video. See you next time.